Alright, let's fucking crush the rest of chapter 1, eh? I mean, we could not. We could just have gone live and had a chat or something. But that's not what I'm going to label this video as. That'd be kind of weird. Text 40. Translation. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted. And from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrisni, comes unwanted progeny. Fucking based. Purport. Good population in human societies, the basic principle for peace, prosperity, and spiritual progress in life. The Varnasrama religion's principles were so designed that the good population would prevail in society for the general spiritual progress of state and community. Such population depends on the chastity and faithfulness of its womanhood. Pay attention, ladies. As children are very prone to be misled. Women are similarly very prone to degradation. Therefore, both children and women require protection by the elder members of the family. By being engaged in various religious practices, women will not be misled into adultery. According to Kanakya Pandita, women are generally not very intelligent and therefore not trustworthy, so the different family traditions of religious activities should always engage them, and thus their chastity and devotion will give birth to a good population eligible for participating in the Varnasrama system. On the failure of such Varnasrama dharma, naturally the women become free to act and mix with men, and thus adultery is indulged in at the risk of unwanted population. Irresponsible men also provoke adultery in society, and thus unwanted children flood the human race at the risk of war and pestilence. Yeah, fucking based. Text 41. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. Purport. According to the rules and regulations of fruitive activities, there is a need to offer I have forgotten how to pronounce this word. Periodical. There is a need to offer periodical food and water to the forefathers of the family. This offering is performed by worship of Vishnu, because eating the remnants of food offered to Vishnu can deliver one from all kinds of sinful actions. Sometimes the forefathers may be suffering from various types of sinful reactions, and sometimes some of them cannot even acquire a gross material body and are forced to remain in subtle bodies as ghosts. Thus, when remnants of prasadhyam food are offered to forefathers by descendants, the forefathers are released from ghostly or other kinds of miserable life. Such help rendered to forefathers is a family tradition, and those who are not in devotional life are required to perform such rituals. One who is engaged in devotional life is not required to perform such actions. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. It is stated in the Bhagavatam 11.5.41. Anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation, and has taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither duties nor obligations to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, or forefathers. Such obligations are automatically fulfilled by performance of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm going to think about that one. I think I know what they're talking about. Text 42. by the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. Report. Community projects for the four orders of human society combined with family welfare activities as they are set forth by the institution of I just said it earlier. Sanatana Dharma, or Varnas Rama Dharma, are designed to enable the human being to attain his ultimate salvation. Therefore, the breaking of the Sanatana Dharma tradition by irresponsible leaders of society brings about chaos in that society, and consequently people forget the aim of life. Vishnu, the aim of life. In case y'all didn't know, it was that guy. Such leaders are called blind, and persons who follow such leaders are sure to be led into chaos. Text 43. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciple succession that those who destroy family traditions dwell always in hell. You heard correctly, son. Report. Arjuna bases his arguments not on his own personal experience, but on what he has heard from the authorities. This is the way of receiving real knowledge. That is the way of receiving. I'm going to disagree with you on that one. One cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. How do you get established there, huh? This is some chicken and egg shit. There is a system in the Varnasrama institution by which before death one has to undergo the process of atonement for his sinful activities. One who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called the prayaskita. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as the result of sinful activities. Alright, this is text 44. Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts, driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. We are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Excuse me. Purport. Driven by selfish motives, one may be inclined to such sinful acts as the killing of one's own brother, father, or mother. There are many such instances in the history of the world, but Arjuna, being a saintly devotee of the Lord, is always conscious of moral principles and therefore takes care to avoid such activities. Text 45. Translation. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. I'm going to disagree with you, Arjuna. Report. It is the custom, according to Kshatriya fighting principles, that an unarmed and unwilling foe should not be attacked. Arjuna, however, decided that even if attacked by the enemy in such an awkward position, he would not fight. He did not consider how much the other party was bent upon fighting. All these symptoms are due to soft-heartedness, resulting from his being a great devotee of the Lord. See, everything has its price. Text 46. Saint Jaina said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on a chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Purport. While observing the situation of his enemy, Arjuna stood up on the chariot, but he was so afflicted with lamentation that he sat down again, setting aside his bow and arrows. Such a kind and soft-hearted person in the devotional service of the Lord is fit to receive self-knowledge. Alright. And oh my god, we made it to chapter 2, you guys. I only did it. It only took 10 minutes. Oh my god. Fucking... What's that Korn album called? See You on the Other Side?